Time to bring the thunder. Let the heavens rage! Zeus!
Hello everyone, LZO is here, finally back with round number 1 of the Store Championship. Thank you all for the huge support, especially from my last video, which was my first deck profile video of the winning deck list, Pluffy Donk. So here the first round against red yellow Sabo. I won the dice roll and I of course chose to go second. If you haven't already saw my deck profile video, you will see it in the description, the direct link to the video. Otherwise, I will make it here, pop it up somewhere. One more time, thank you all so much for the huge support, all the comments, likes, incredible journey. I'm super excited to share with you all the 5 games. Some of them were really intense. So let's start here with round number 1. Red yellow Sabo. If you guys don't know what this leader is doing, 1 done, activate main once per turn. You may add one of your cost 3 or higher characters with 7000 power or higher to the top of your life face up. Give up to one of your characters plus 2000 power until the start of your next turn. It's not usual to see this leader as an opponent, but on this point I have to make a huge shout out to my opponent. He already almost topped in the offline regional in Munich. He got placed 34 with his Sabo deck, so huge shout out here again. I knew that before I attended this first game, so I already know, okay, it is getting already hard, so I have to focus already on round 1. So as you see, I mulliganed my first hand. It was not so good. Here a classic start. The second hand I at least saw my Rosinante. So of course here my opponent pressures me with Zoro Rush and leader ability. Leader swing I mean. So here I play Rosinante, trash an event which I don't need anymore to be able to draw 2 cards. If you look closer to it, I have Senior Pink, I have Big Mom, I have Sugar Surge, a 2k, Blocker Queen, and then some events. But I do not have 8 cost Dofi, which at this point of course is a little bit annoying. So let's see if I'm able to see him. So opponent swings first with 6 and then he KOs my Rosinante. I think it's definitely a good choice. So I don't have any board presence anymore, which is also very annoying. Defending my life here because I was thinking like, okay, it's going a little bit too fast. Of course, I will consider red yellow Sabo also as an aggro type deck like Zoro and ST21 Luffy, and also some Shanks Straw Hat builds. So here on 8 dons, on 7 dons, sorry, using my leader ability. Why? Because I tried to find my 8 cost Mingo. I couldn't find him, so I have to play around. So I have to make sure that this Zoro dies definitely. So that's why here Gamma Knife to reduce it by 5000 to make sure that this Zoro dies. And here one deck choice of mine, which you see pretty good here in this situation. It can really helps a lot to cycle your hand. So I choose to play Blocker Queen, -1 down, draw 2 cards, trash 1, I got the question in my deck profile video why I choose to play Queen and not 4-cost Onami. Here you see it pretty much good that if I want to profit from 4-cost Onami, I have to have 8 dawns. In this situation where I used Gamma Knife, I went back to 7 dawns. So Onami would not help me to cycle my hand. With Queen, I'm still able to play him, do the minus dawn effect, still draw 2 cards and trash 1, which I also like more than trash 1, draw 2 cards. So yeah, this is pretty much the explanation one more time here live in this situation, why I rather like to play Queen in this current deck list than Onami, or let's say instead Onami. So I passed the dawn, I passed the turn. My opponent starts with a 6k swing. I'm on 2 life. I'm not too much worried about my life situation at the moment, as I know that this specific deck build carries me in the mid-late game with all the events I have available. So I can easily go to 2 or 1 life, especially if I have Big Mom as well in my hand and it's an option to play her. I can definitely risk to go to 2 or 1 life. So first my opponent took a surge, and now he played the Rush Pluffy from ST21 swings with 7k. I blocked and used the 2k. So here I go to 8 dawns, and finally I saw my Mingo 8 cost. So I'm swinging here first for 5. So let's see if my opponent chooses to take the life. He does not. So this gives me a window actually to play Dofi into Senior Pink. Here we go. Dofi into Senior Pink ability. I can choose an event to take it back into my hand with a 5 cost or less. I think it's even mentioned a purple event. Yeah, 5 cost or less. So you see my opponent reads my card. So yeah, I mentioned it already on my deck build video that I profit a lot that people were not aware what I'm playing. Especially when I choose to go second, even though I won the dice roll, people were probably thinking like, what is this guy doing? Is he crazy? Like, does he know how Pluffy works? And as soon as I start to play the first 2-3 turns, different cards they're not aware of, starting to questioning, okay, what against what I'm playing here. I'm sure that not many of the people attending this tournament at that day knew how the Pluffy Donk version works. So you will see it in all 5 games that sometimes they take a card and read it. This is a good sign actually in a such tournament because you know that actually, yeah, you are able to basically surprise your opponent. So as you see here, I played the Senior Pink. I took, if I'm not mistaken, I think I took a slow beam into my hand. At this point it was, I had the choice between slow beam, Gamma Knife, and how is it called? Disaster, lead performer disaster, yeah. So due to the fact that Senior Pin untaps Rested Dawn, and with my leader ability, I was able to get again 2 active Dawns. Here you see the effect of 8 cost Dofi, which is on your opponent's attack. Once per turn, you may rest 1 of your Dawn cards, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. This is super strong. This is something which compared to the Straw Hat Pluffy, or let's call it traditional Pluffy list, it's much better. So you are not going too much down in Don, because 8-cost Doffy always brings you one back. So even though if you play a Gum Gum Giant, you play it basically for -1 Don and not -2 Don. And all the other events which cost -1 are basically for free in terms of Don reduction costs. So here I protected myself with a Gum Gum just to find some other cards, because my hand was not so strong. And my board does not look bad, but I'm still a little bit scared that my opponent will try to push me too much, so I was digging for some options. So here a very nice play. It's Baby Luffy into ST21 Luffy. So leader is also a 7K. Now here again I block and use a 2K. Of course my leader knows that I have a slow bean in the hand, so he tries always to play around, which is quite clever. So again, huge shout out to my opponent. Definitely a strong player in the Swiss community, and it was an honor for me to play the first round against him. So here leader ability, he gives Garb plus 2000, and then there is a big swing. So I take this life. Go to 0 life. And 8 dons. Unfortunately, I can't play Big Mom here, as I do not have any life to ramp, which would be not bad. As you see, my hand is a little bit weak, and here one more time I'm forced to play Queen to cycle my hand, which helps me a lot to find some options. So here I swing 5 into the boosted Garb. My opponent does not want to spend any resources to defend this Garb, so it gets KO'd. And now I start to swing into my opponent's life. I see the top life is the ST21 Rush Luffy. And here, super friendly of my opponent. I forgot that Sabo is actually a 7K. So he reminded me like, hey, you know, my leader is 7K. I was like, oh shit, yeah. And he said, no, put 1 don. It's stupidly, and he let me put that on. So here again, a huge fair play. And shout out to my opponent. So he counters out with, I think it was the Rush Ace as well from the Whitebeard starter deck. The 9K swing he takes, and now I play my second Queen. Of course, I remember at this point I was already thinking like, okay, if he has an option to swing unblockable, I have to have enough counter power in my hand. So here's the question, what I'm going to throw away. So I was here thinking like, okay, if I have to use one of those events, which anyways gives me -1 don, I will never be able to play Big Mom here in this scenario. So I'm thinking here like, should I throw Big Mom away? It's a dead card at this situation and I'm in danger. Or should I keep her just to have access later? But it doesn't make sense, because to be honest, I have 2 dons open. I will definitely do my Doffy ability to ramp 1 for tapping 1, and then I have to use my events to try to protect myself. So here you see another huge advantage of the Pluffy donk version. My defense is much stronger than on the traditional Pluffy build. So here a low-key 6k swing from my opponent, testing, I call this always a 2k check. So he's testing if I have a 2k. If not, I would have invested 2 1ks or even already an event. And here comes the unblockable Luffy, which I was predicting that something unblockable could come. So he swings here with 10 exactly. With 10. So if I'm not wrong, I'm not sure if I remember here to activate my 8 cost Mingo's ability. You know, sometimes you're so focused, and to be honest, I was here also playing, let's call it kind of a bigger tournament. It was not big in terms of participant, but big in terms of what you can win. And when you're like locked in, super focused, sometimes yeah, you risk to lose concentration on other things on the board. So yeah, I have this coin. This is a silver coin, also a little bit a lucky coin. For myself, with of course Zeus on it. I try to place this in a position where it reminds me to not forget the Doffy's ability. This is something which maybe also can help you guys to find, whatever it is, something which helps you to not forget certain abilities. I was able here to counter out. I had the Gum Gum. So yeah, my opponent uses again the leader ability to get his Luffy back to his life, which is also quite annoying. But I was able to counter out. And if I'm not wrong, I forgot my Mingo ability. So you see, I even didn't play it perfectly. In this game, there will be also a really interesting scenario, which you will see later on. I think it's almost in the end of the game. Which you can definitely take some learnings from me. But now let's go on. I was able to defend myself. I have 2 events in my cards. Who of you guys saw my deck profile video? I called it one of my MVP cards, Judgment of Hell. Really crazy card and perfectly matching into this Pluffy Donk deck build. So I have here a couple of options. Of course I will swing. I have to swing, start to swing. The question is here, am I able to swing with at least 1 blocker? I think what makes sense here is to play Rosinante. The thing is, if I play Rosinante, do I want to trash one of my Judgment of Hell? So let's see what my decisions were. If I have to look at it now, I would probably choose to play Rosinante and do not activate the ability. I'm on 7 dons. So if I play him, I'm able to restart 2 dons. I have exactly 4 dons to be able to play both Judgment of Hells. So yeah, let's see what I'm doing. First thing first, I'm swinging with 5k. Let's see if my opponent protects it or not. Of course, my opponent with 3 hand cards is quite low. Also, I think I know 1 card at least. It's the ST21 Luffy. So he gives me a 1k, he takes another card. So I know I have a lot of information at this point. I know 2 cards of my opponents, and he only has 3. So we can say like the max counter power now would be 2k if it's a standard counter, or maybe he has a 0 cost event where he can trash one, which will be 3k. You never know. So you see slowly people were finished with their games. They start to look around, and some of them stopped at our table because they were surprised that I have a Senior Pink and the A-Coast Mingo on my field and not the Luffy-Taro and Sangoro. So people were quite interested like how this game will go on. So with the second swing, my opponent had a Satori trigger, which is quite strong, which is for me quite annoying because this is an extra swing he has now available. So here, I remember here I was thinking like, okay, I know both cards in my opponent's hand because he trashed, I think it is it Rush Ace? The yellow one? I'm not sure. But he trashed the one I did not know which one it was. So I have full information of my opponent. So I know 2 dead cards, first place, but also what potentially he could play the next turn. So I was checking here what is already in his grave. I think I was checking like how many 2Ks. Yeah, you see it. I think this is pretty much from the artwork. It is the 5-cost Rush Ace, the yellow one. I checked like how many 2Ks he used already. If I'm not wrong, there were no 2Ks in his trash until this point. So I took quite a lot of time here to think about, am I able to swing with 1 queen? I knew that I can't swing with both queens, but at least with 1 I was thinking like, am I able to do it? I have a lot of protection, and I knew that probably the next turn will be my last turn. So there is not many turns available to play this game and to try to win this game. So that's why I'm thinking here really hard. Is it necessary for me to swing here with 1 queen at least? Or is it enough just to put it like this? As I predicted correctly, I also have played it like this. Rosinante without on-play effect past the turn. As I have 7 dons, I'm able to rest up 2 dons, so I have access to 4 active dons during my opponent's turn. I have 2 blockers. I mean, at this point it looks quite good. So what my opponent does here is he swings 6 into leader. This time I did not forget to use my Mingo's ability. So rest 1 don, ramp 1 don active. Very strong ability, by the way. 6k. I was thinking like, okay, should I choose here already Judgment of Hell, just to avoid an extra swing of Satori. I mean, I have 3 1Ks and 2 events. I know he has the Rush Luffy, unblockable, and also the ST21 Rush Luffy. So with only 9 dons available, he's not able to play both because they cost each 5. They are each 5 cost. So I choose to block here just to not spend any counter. Was it the right play? I'm not sure. Yeah, here he goes. He does the exactly same play. And here I knew like, okay, I have enough counter. Of course I can't block. I'm not sure if I tried to block here and then he just reminds me like, you can't block, it's unblockable. Yeah, exactly. I just remembered. Yeah, you see something. Yeah, I was a little bit nervous, to be honest, guys. So here, first, Judgment of Hell, -1 don, give up to 2 characters or leader -3000 for the turn. So I gave here Luffy -3 and Satori, so Satori can't swing this turn. And here, a huge mistake. Instead of giving him here all the counters, I should have played the second Judgment of Hell. Why? This was my opponent reminded me about this play after the game. If I would use here the second Judgment of Hell, he would not have anymore any character with 7,000 power or higher on his field, so he could not use his leader's ability, which would make my life much easier. Because now, with this minus 3,000, the Pluffy is exactly on 7k. I was just not thinking about this line, so that's why, yeah. For the next time, if you're on this situation, don't forget to profit from my learnings. So, due to my mistake, my opponent was still able to use his leader ability and to put his Pluffy into his life. I know one card is death. A second death card is his first life. So, yeah. I knew that probably from this point, either I try to finish or, yeah, I'm pretty much going to lose. I draw a senior pink, so this is quite interesting. Senior pink allows me to get another event back to my hand, which could help me probably survive even another turn. So this is what I'm thinking here about. I was trying like, oh, should I start to swing? Like, how much should I start to swing? So I chose to swing with 7, which I think is a mistake because I knew that one card was death, so it didn't make sense here to swing with 7. It was a slightly mistake of my side. So I swing another 7. Nothing happens. So the question here is, yeah, I'm going for game here, which is quite risky, to be honest. It's quite risky. I don't like, after watching this, I don't like my decision here. I mean, I was probably lucky enough that my opponent didn't have any counters, so yeah, I won this game. Thank you so much. See you in the next round, round number 2. Bye-bye.